Hi there, just imagine this for a second. You get out of bed and your knees feel stiff. Your fingers? They ache just pouring a glass of water. Now here's the thing, some everyday foods might be quietly making it worse. In this video, I'll show you 3 foods to never touch again, and 3 plant-based proteins that can actually help ease arthritis pain. If that sounds helpful, hit like, share this with a friend, and subscribe to healthcase. Number 1. Unpasteurized dairy. You know those fresh, clear bottles of milk from the farmer's market? Or that hand-wrapped cheese someone gave you at a church event? They remind you of what food used to be like. Simple, natural, straight from the farm. But here's the thing. That natural can come with a hidden price, especially for older adults. When milk is unpasteurized, it means harmful germs that would normally be killed by heat are still alive and thriving. And those germs? They're more than just a stomachache waiting to happen. For older adults, they can cause serious infections, sometimes even leading to hospitalization for dehydration or blood complications. Your immune system isn't as strong as it once was. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, people over 65 are at a much higher risk of serious illness from unpasteurized products. No matter how homemade the cheese looks or how fresh the milk smells, it's what you don't see that's dangerous. One of the best senior health tips I can give you today is, check the label. Make sure your milk, yogurt, or cheese says pasteurized. And if there's no label at all, especially at a roadside stall or a makeshift market, it's best to skip it. A bargain isn't worth the hospital bill. If you thought raw dairy was the only hidden danger, this next one might be sitting quietly in your pantry too. Let's talk about processed snacks and why they deserve a second look. Number 2. Processed snack foods. Hey, let's take a look at the snack shelf. You grab a bag of chips, maybe a small cake or 2, just something light to tide you over until dinner. Feels harmless, right? A quick bite, a familiar crunch, and you move on with your day. But here's the thing we don't always think about. Those little snacks have often been sitting on the shelf for months. They're sealed, stacked, and preserved with chemicals that help them last, but not always in the safest way. And if they've been exposed to high temperatures, humidity, or poor handling, like in dollar stores or warehouses, they can become risky very quickly, especially for seniors. Some of these snacks come from low-cost factories where sanitation isn't always guaranteed. Others are loaded with layers of preservatives and additives that, while legal, can secretly exacerbate inflammation in the body. That's not good for anyone, but for those already dealing with arthritis or joint problems, it can make things worse. One of the most overlooked senior health tips? Pay attention to where your snacks come from, not just what's on the label. If you don't recognize the brand, or if the package looks old or dented, it's best to leave it on the shelf. And try to avoid mystery snacks from the discount bin or gas station. Your joints will thank you. Drop a 2 in the comments if you've ever grabbed a snack just out of habit. It happens, but now we've got better ways to treat our joints, right? Number 3. Red meat from unknown or discount sources. You know, I've seen this happen more times than I can count. Someone sees a package of steak on sale, surprisingly cheap. The packaging looks a little blurry. Maybe there's no clear date, or it's from a brand you've never heard of. But the price? Too good to pass up. And here's the problem. When red meat comes from sources that don't clearly show how it was processed, stored, or where it came from, you're taking a gamble. And for seniors, that gamble can have serious consequences, especially if you're living with arthritis or a compromised immune system. You see, meat that hasn't been stored at the right temperature, or that comes from places that cut corners on hygiene, can harbor bacteria you can't see or smell. And when your body's defenses slow down, as they tend to after age 60, even a small mistake like this can lead to inflammatory flare-ups, digestive issues, or worse. According to senior health tips from trusted geriatric nutritionists, one of the biggest risks for older adults isn't just the meat itself, but where and how it's handled. If the label looks faded, the package feels too soft, or the price seems too good to be true, it probably is. So what should you do instead? Buy red meat from trusted grocery stores. Check the sell-by date and store it properly. If you're on a budget, ask your butcher for smaller portions or choose leaner cuts that are on sale but still from reputable suppliers. Comment 3. If you've ever bought meat from a place you weren't entirely sure about, there's no shame in that, but now we know better. Hey, let's give humble food a second chance. And while we're giving beans their deserved attention, perhaps it's time to reconsider some of the habits we've let slip over the years. That carton of fresh milk that feels so fresh to you? It could be a real threat in disguise if your immune system isn't what it used to be. Those snack packs we keep around for just a bite? They could be sitting in your cupboards longer than you think, full of stuff your joints don't need. And don't forget those bargain meats. Sometimes the only thing they save is money, not your health. It's not about guilt, it's about knowing more so we can do better, one small change at a time. But here's the good news, just as some foods make things worse, others can gently help your body feel stronger, looser, and more supported day by day. Let's take a look at a few simple things you can add to your plate, because eating well isn't just about what to avoid, it's about what to lean into. Number 4. Beans and legumes. Hey, let's give this one a second chance. A lot of people overlook beans. Maybe it's the texture, maybe you've heard they cause gas, or maybe they just don't sound appealing. But if you're dealing with arthritis, or just want your joints to feel a little more comfortable and healthy, this is a food group that deserves a place back on your plate. Beans, like lentils, black beans, and chickpeas, are packed with fiber and plant compounds that help soothe inflammation. Not only do they fill you up, but they actually help your body fight off the little aches and stiffness that tend to creep up as we age. Here's what makes them special. They release energy slowly, which helps keep blood sugar levels stable and reduces the kind of internal stress that often makes arthritis worse. And they're not just for vegetarians. You can add lentils to soup, mix black beans into rice, or mash chickpeas into a quick salad, all without changing your entire meal plan. Now, I understand that some people are concerned about digestion. That's fair. But here's a simple senior health tip. Rinse canned beans thoroughly. Try small portions to start, and skip the heavy seasonings the first few times. Most people find their digestive systems adjust after a week or two, and the benefits start to show up quietly but clearly in their knees, hands, and hips. If beans feel like a big step, don't worry, there's another small, easy habit that can bring real comfort to your joints. Let's take a closer look at nuts and seeds. Number 5. Nuts and seeds. I've reviewed this information. The sentences are not duplicated, and the information is accurate. Here's an edited version as requested, replacing the puissiment symbols with commas, or removing them to make the sentence more natural in Vietnamese, keeping the call for comments and the phrase senior health tips intact. Hey, if you've ever grabbed a handful of almonds or walnuts for a snack, you're on the right track. It may seem like a small thing, but for your joints, that handful of nuts is like giving them a silent but powerful ally. Nuts are rich in natural oils that help your body soothe inflammation, the kind that slowly eats away at your comfort, especially if you're living with arthritis. And you don't need much, just a small portion, perhaps 30 grams a day, is enough to reap the benefits. Think of it this way. You're not popping another pill or changing your entire diet. You're simply reaching for something real, whole, and nutrient-dense. For example, walnuts are one of the most talked about foods when it comes to joint health. Flax seeds and chia seeds, though tiny, are packed with fiber and healthy fats that help support circulation and reduce that nagging stiffness in your joints. Almonds and pistachios provide protein, crunch, and satiety without the inflammation that processed snacks often do. Here's one of the best senior health tips when it comes to nuts. They're not just for trail mixes or fancy salads. You can mix them into oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or even use nut butter as a light source of energy between meals. And if chewing is a challenge, try ground flaxseed or smooth almond butter, which is easy to eat but still packed with benefits. Now, a quick reminder, use salted or sweetened nuts in moderation. Flavored nuts may be delicious, but they often contain additives that your joints won't appreciate. Instead, look for raw, dry roasted, or lightly salted options. And if you have allergies, seeds like pumpkin, sunflower, flax, or chia can still give you anti-inflammatory benefits without the risks. The best part? These foods don't require refrigeration, prep time, or a lot of effort. They're the kind of habit that fits into your life without causing any stress. If you're a fan of nuts or just curious to see what a handful can do, type 5 below. Small change, big impact. Number 6. Whole grains. Hey everyone, can we talk about breakfast for a moment? It's one of the most familiar habits of the day. You pour yourself a bowl of instant cereal, maybe toast a slice of white bread, or heat up something quick like instant noodles. You've been doing it for years, maybe decades, and it seems simple, filling, and comforting. But here's something to think about. Some of those familiar breakfast carbohydrates, especially the refined kind like white bread, sugary cereals, or processed instant meals, don't do your joints much good. In fact, they can secretly increase inflammation, making morning mobility more difficult than it needs to be. The good news is that you don't have to give up your morning routine. You just need to replace it with something better. Whole grains, like oats, brown rice, or quinoa, are high in fiber and naturally anti-inflammatory compounds. That fiber helps keep your blood sugar stable, which is a quiet but powerful way to reduce stress on your joints over time. And when your joints feel less uncomfortable, everything from standing up to holding a cup of coffee becomes easier. Say you usually eat white bread. Try a slice of whole wheat bread instead. If you're used to instant cereal, consider rolled oats with cinnamon and fruit. Or even leftover brown rice from dinner, heated up with a little milk and honey. Sounds strange, but is delicious and easy to digest. And here's a senior health tip that most people overlook. Whole grains also help with digestion. Constipation, bloating, even low energy can sometimes be related to a lack of fiber, and these grains quietly help keep things running smoothly, both inside your body and in your daily life. If gluten is a concern for you, don't worry. You have plenty of options. Quinoa, brown rice, millet, and certified gluten-free oats are all naturally gluten-free and still provide the anti-inflammatory benefits your joints need. Plus, whole grains help with long-term weight control. That's more important than you might think, because even a few extra pounds can put real strain on already sensitive knees, hips, and hands. The lighter your stride, the more freedom your joints have to move the way they're meant to. So maybe give it a try tomorrow morning. Swap out a slice of white bread for something whole grain, or swap out a sugary oatmeal packet for a bowl of whole grain oatmeal you've cooked yourself. These are small changes, but reducing joint pain doesn't always require huge leaps. Sometimes it's just about moving a little easier. One breakfast at a time. Hit 6 in the comments if you're thinking of swapping your usual breakfast for something your joints will thank you for. What's on your table these days? So, after all that talk about switching up your grains, maybe you're wondering what else can I add to support these joints of mine? Well, turns out the answer's been pretty simple all along. A scoop of beans here, a sprinkle of walnuts there. These aren't fancy health foods. They're just everyday things that happen to be really kind to your body. And the best part? You don't have to do it all at once. Just one better choice at a time. Little by little, your joints start to notice, and so do you. Honestly, sometimes it's not just what we eat, but how our bodies respond to it. You might try beans, grains, or a few nuts and think, yeah, that sounds healthy, but here's the thing most people miss. What happens in the next hour or two is just as important. Maybe your fingers feel a little more swollen. Maybe your knees are stiff after lunch. Or, conversely, maybe you notice that you've been moving around more easily that day without even thinking about it. Those little signs? That's your body responding. Here's a simple tip that fits perfectly with senior health tips. Keep a brief note after each meal. No need to be fancy, just write down what you ate and how your joints felt afterward. Over time, patterns will begin to emerge and you will learn what really works for your body, not just what the label says is healthy. Because the truth is, arthritis doesn't follow a one-size-fits-all rule, and when you learn to listen to your body, you'll be one step closer to taking control of it. And while food is an important piece of the puzzle, it's not the whole picture. You can eat all the right things, but if your joints stay in the same position for too long, stiffness can creep back in. That's why one of the best-kept senior health tips isn't just about what's on your plate, but what you do afterward. Just a few minutes of light movement after a meal, like walking to the mailbox or stretching by the kitchen sink, can help take pressure off your joints and increase circulation. It's not exercise in the gym sense, but keeping your body flexible, maintaining your mobility, maintaining you. Think of it this way: food helps your joints recover, and movement helps them remember how to move. They go hand in hand. So when you put it all together, choosing the right foods, paying attention to how your joints respond, and adding a little movement after meals, you start to build a rhythm your body can trust. And the sooner you make these changes, the better your chances of staying mobile, stable, and independent for years to come. Less pain in the morning, more comfort during the day, a little more peace of mind, knowing you're doing something good for your body every time you eat. This entire video boils down to one simple message. Some foods silently wear down your joints, while others help rebuild and protect them. You deserve to know the difference and take back control, little by little. If this has helped you in any way, please like or share it with someone who might need a little joint relief today. And don't forget, stay hydrated, check in with your doctor, and subscribe for more senior health tips right here at Healthcase. We're here to help you feel better, move better, and age on your own terms.